child. Each speck high only comes from belly of fire. All of us like spice within this spiral. Now we jump in between these mighty fires. Each of us deftly searching for those drops of angels. Light creates life, even in destruction. Scattering our debris like a spoiled child. Each speck high only comes from belly of fire. All of us like spice within this spiral. Each speck high only comes from belly of fire. All of us like spice within this spiral.
Sure heard a cobra landing near the town. Thought it was an apex, but nobody was around. So I got back to my duties, then I walked into the lab. Thought I saw the Reaper leaping madly in the black. If this is my time, then I'm ready. Is this the day that I die? staring through the windows with a scanner, maybe more. So I checked back on my data and headed to the hab. Had a drink, stood by the table, and felt a gun stuck in my back. If this is my time, then I'm ready. Is this the day that I die? Just why? Somebody tell me why. I was only in the bar last night. Wasn't Vasquez from the other settlement. Just swiped me once on Tinder. Didn't return her calls. I was busy refining stuff. Didn't think it would matter at all. But I know she has a temper. Orders for a gun. Know they murder hobos now, leaving around and having their fun. Come on, come on, just one step nearer. And down falls the curtain. Here comes the curtain. Flying so fast to the hills and canyons, hurting like a fool, don't need companions. The last guy who came on the multi-crew left a stain on the seat after I got through. Bruce turns fast, if he on, falls for a breath, it'll just be a death. The close to the ground, all the big with a smile, turn your head right off if you live in style. I got nothing but speed in my veins, you know your life's too slow. I got nothing but speed, and they say speed kills, but it don't. It's the ground, you know that sound. But this asphalt turns no down so well. The vibe is so fast and good for a chill. And it goes best with everything turned up to tip the ridge and it's gone and up. All the plans are gonna get a reroll. So I'm searching for heaven, not a blind flat hell. I wanna fly fast, see what I've got until my eyes are burning and dribbling snot. I got nothing but speed in my veins, you know your life's too slow. I got nothing but speed, and they say speed kills, but it don't. It's the ground, you know that sound.
don't.
Oh, the frontier keeps calling my name. Sick of running this trade route to nowhere again. So I charged on my drive, plot a course for far away. Hit the black, oh, I'm free again to fly my way. Too many fights, too many kills, all those plots, all those plans. I'm done hauling those criminals, so tired of their demands. Yeah, the starlight is pulling me closer today. Leave this bubble and his trouble, I'm leaving today. Finding peace with the stars, just me and my thoughts. Finding peace with the stars, the frontier calls. Oh, the darkness feels cold, sometimes frost chills my bones. If I stay near the star, then the warmth it unfolds. Got the rhythm of jumping and checking my way. There's an earth like out there somewhere that'll be mine one day. Yeah. Finding peace with the stars. Bought a ship when I just joined the Pilots Federation. It cost me 52 grand. I felt so proud when I special elected to the shipyard and they put the keys in my hand. Do you have keys? I know. It may only have a small heart point, but sex doesn't matter to me. 'Cause she's mine and she blows my mind. She's my beautiful space taxi. I'm a hauler, space baller, talking Peterson about you. It's a mini for the Lance with nothing in his pants, but goddammit, I love you. My space taxi, yeah, my space taxi, yeah, my space taxi, yeah, my space taxi, yeah. I tricked it out so it jumped just like a lady. It maxed out at 30.09. One fully laden, its ass was a beautiful thing. No shit, kid, to mess with its lines. Jumped into open for a community goal. Thought I'd raise a buck or two. Some guy called Potter stripped my shield to water rider. I'm at 1% as I recharge my friendship. Oh, I'm a hauler, yeah, such a baller. Talking Peterson about you. It's a mini for the Lance with nothing in his pants, but goddammit, I love you. Yeah, I'm a hauler, such a baller. Talking Peterson about you. It's a mini for the Lance with nothing in his pants, but goddammit, I love you. My space taxi, yeah, my space taxi, yeah, my space taxi, yeah, my space taxi, yeah.
Silent running.
It was cold, I was freezing, I'd had too much booze. So I thought I would pack up my cow for the night. She was packed to the gills with rare goods I had saved. Here's a big haul of ox for my lady. My comms panel opened, a voice said, "Ha ha, now give me 10 tons of your loot." I was stubborn and drunk and would not give this punk not 1 penny, so I blew it all. My lady was hoping for riches that night. When a rebuy, I was down on my knees. But she just walked away from that empty ship bay. She said, "You're not the man that I need." Oh, I turned to the dark side, I hardened my heart. Oh, yes, a mean pirate I'd be. I flew out of that station and into this song. Yes, I knew I had found what I'd be. I was flying my Cobra right out of Cremain with a hole full of Lave and brandy. I was swinging so deeply from my hidden mug, with the rest smell of onion head round me. Maybe I'll find a girl and forgot how one night I put up with my pirating ways. But until then I'll drink from this old hidden mug, and I hope that I'll meet her one day. One day, Christmas Day, oh, I'll win back your heart with my gold and my charms. Oh, one day, Christmas Day, but until then I'll keep on my pirating ways. Well, hey. So I cooled down my Cobra and silent ran home. Sold all of my Lave and brandy, and some pink Basnick gin just to give me a grin, and a puff of that onion head gladly. Maybe I'll find a girl and forget how one day I'll put up with my pirating ways. But until then I'll drink from this old hidden mug, and I hope that I'll meet her one day. Oh, one day, Christmas Day, oh, I'll win back your heart with my gold and my charms. Oh, one day, Christmas Day, but until then I'll keep on my pirating ways. Oh, one day, Christmas Day, oh, I'll win back your heart with my gold and my art. Oh, one day, Christmas Day, but until then I'll keep on with my pirating ways.
Hull integrity compromised. Under attack.
Hello and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders.
Greetings, Commanders.
The show that talks about the universe of Elite
and the development of the computer game Elite 4, known as Elite Dangerous,
and the fantastic
community that surrounds it.
Broadcast from the Orange Sidewinder and hosted by a vending machine technician.
A place of nonsense and innuendo for forum dads.
A self-contained podcast 2 hours long.
Transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
It's even louder than me.
The hottest show this side of Dizzo.
The name of the place.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders, and welcome to episode 535 of Lave Radio, the show that talks about the universe of Elite Dangerous and the fantastic community that surrounds it. I'm your host, Commander Phoenix Defire, otherwise known as Colin Ford, Chief Archivist of Lave Station, and joining me in the Orange Sidewinder bar for this episode, we have our SRV Banksy, Commander Alec Turner.
I'm back, baby. Evening all.
Welcome back. We have our Staff Liaison Officer, Commander Psyche, otherwise known as Claire.
Hello, that's me. Hi.
We also have both the Chris's. We've got a Chris double double feature. So we've got the Chris Mark IV and the Chris Mark V with us today as well.
Hello.
Hello.
Still can't tell the difference. Can you tell the difference? I can't tell the difference.
I'm pretty good at telling the difference.
So, if you wish, you can join us live. The Chris Mark IV is hanging out in game and open in the bar at Lave Station. But if you can't get to keep in game to keep him company, you can also join the Twitch chat channel, which you can access through laveradio.com/live. Click on the live chat or on twitch.tv/laveradio. So hello to all those Twitchers or people in the Twitch chat. And of course, there's YouTube as well. So hello to all those who are listening on YouTube. So, yes, let's quickly go around the crew, see what they've been up to for the last couple of, for the last week or so. So, Alec, you've been away for a while. How are you doing?
Yes, I'm good. Yeah, we went on a 7-day cruise to Denmark and Norway, which was fab. Main reason we did it actually was because we were sick of airports and holidays just beginning with all the stress of airports. So we did our research and realised that we could sail from Southampton and go Denmark and Norway, which was great because you literally just drive up to the ship and you get out of your car and some nice person drives your car away and hopefully doesn't abuse it, and you get on the ship. It's great. We had some really good stops actually. We went to a beautiful town in Norway called Kristiansand. It's like the cleanest, most sort of clean living, nice place I've been to. It was just such a nice place to live. And I did a Segway tour, which I thoroughly recommend. Cool. It's the second time I've done that. I did one years ago when we went to Budapest. And I genuinely recommend it as a fantastic way to see a place. They're really easy to use. They're stupidly easy to use. And it's just so great to go zipping around in a little tour group. Yeah, I really like Segways. The first time I did one, I wanted to immediately come home and buy one, and then discovered they weren't allowed. They weren't legal on UK roads, which I was gutted because I really like them. My only tip with a Segway is do not catch a reflection of yourself in any shop windows, because you think you look really cool, only you don't. You look like a complete dick.
It's a problem. It's a VR problem.
Yeah, but as long as you don't realise that, they're great. We went to Oslo, which was nice, and there's we did a sort of guided tour. Went to there's an amazing sculpture park in Oslo. It's actually about 100-acre central park right in the centre of Oslo, and it has all these sculptures by this guy called Vigeland. And they're incredible. They're really powerful. There's hundreds and hundreds of them, and they're all life-size human sculptures telling the entire circle of life story, basically from birth to death. And there's hundreds of them, and they tell an incredible story. It's really powerful stuff. And we went to the ski jump where Eddie the Eagle did his jumps, among other places. And Jesus Christ, those things are ridiculously big. When you see one up close, it's like, nope, nope, nope. I am definitely never going anywhere near that.
You do have to worry about his sanity when he tries it.
Jesus, absolutely, yeah. I expected it to be big, but when you see it, it's like, fuck me, that is insane. Yeah, so it's really nice. We did have another port stop that we were meant to make, but it got cancelled due to rough seas, which was a bit annoying because it meant that we spent the last 2 days at sea, making a very slow journey back to Southampton, where we should have been making another stop. But never mind. It's a really good first half of the holiday. What else have I been up to? Today, actually, Chris stole my thunder on last week's show by going to some Ponzi Edinburgh premiere, but I took the day off work today and went to see The Final Reckoning, which, as Chris said, was quite long. I watched the Mark Kermode review, so I knew that if I needed to go for a pee, the first hour was the time to do so. When there's lots of exposition, but then once he jumps into the water, then you don't want to go to the toilet after that point. That's my tip. It's insane. He's basically the same age as me, Tom Cruise, and what he does in that film is ridiculous. I also really liked the bit from the Mark Kermode review where he just kept saying things like, and then he's got to cut the thing and put the thing in the thing to stop the thing happening. There's a lot of that. Just don't worry about it. There's a lot of things that need to happen for some daft reason.
Don't think about it. Just watch.
Yeah. Cut the thing. Put the thing in the thing and stop the thing happening.
One of these things that if you think about it too hard, it's going to be iffy. Is this right? Is this what you're saying to me?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just got to put the thing in the thing.
Just go with it. Fine.
It goes so fast that you don't notice all the plot holes that you fly over.
Man. You don't notice all the plot holes until then there's a 3-hour dissertation video essay on YouTube talking about, which is probably about the same length as the movie, talking about how much is missing.
That's
from
all
it.
and the minute you know what the algorithm's like, the minute you look at those, my YouTube feed is just full. That's why I've got nothing in Community Corner this week, because my YouTube feed's full of Tom Cruise videos. In game. Oh yeah, I wanted to do a little shout out following on last week's discussion about the community coming to the rescue and helping other people. I want to give a big shout out to the Burian Protectorate, who completed my planetary port in my absence. There is a reason which will become clear maybe in a week or two, but I decided to build one of the massive planetary ports, which is now called Draka Point.
Nice.
In my colonization system, and it's glorious, and they finished it for me, which is absolutely incredible. And yes, more on that soon. Anyone who knows what I like doing in the game may recognize a similarity in the name of what I've called it and guess what I'm up to. But that's all I'm going to say on that for now. And I took part in the CG because I quite fancied the power distributor, because I feel like an engine system focused distro is probably quite good for racing. So I donned my cape and delivered a grand total of 20 ceramic composites. Dun, dun,
Wow.
dun.
Lots of composites. Yeah.
That's my week.
Okay, then Claire.
Hi. Okay. God, what have I been up to? I know what I've been up to. On Wednesday, I woke up feeling really, really, really rubbish, but I got better. This is what a stupid way to start a story. So, right, editor, cut that. He won't cut that. on Wednesday, we went to see Darren Brown. We went to see Darren Brown, Only Human. And if you are going to go and see that show, if you have any plans to go and see Darren Brown, firstly, absolutely do. It was there was a section in the first half that was really weak and that made me feel maybe slightly uncomfortable, but that was because there was a lot of people just like walking around the theatre and I wasn't keen on that. That aside, the two people who were sat in front of me and Chris got up and left in the middle, and obviously it wasn't the show that they thought they were going to go and see. But if you're aware of any of Darren Brown's stuff, it was fully textbook a Darren Brown show. It's like his 43rd show, something like that. Wow. And it was the second half was one of the greatest pieces of theatre I've ever seen. Just magic act / obviously the mentalist stuff, and then just the way everything came together in the end is something I think I will never forget, and I am like a convert for life. I'm going to go to every single one of his shows from now. Anytime there's a show that comes by us, where I'm going to drag Chris kicking and screaming to it, because he didn't get as much joy out of it as I did. But it was legitimately. You say like there are these moments in time where you go, I'm going to remember that forever, and it's going to stay with me forever. And there were these two other women who were sat in front of us who I was talking to before the beginning, and she was like, one of them was like, I went to see him maybe 10 years ago, and we left, and then every single time I've not missed a show since, because I have to keep coming back and I have to keep seeing him. And we still talk about the last show or the show before that. And I feel like that's the way. And the other thing was the brochure, or like the little, like, you go and get a program when you go and see a show as like a momentum. But the programs are done for Darren Brown like so far in advance. There's nothing really ready for the show. So what he did instead is it's like a keepsake memento. It's a pop-up book. Oh. And I've never seen anything like it, and it's it's a proper keepsake, a proper memento, and it's a keepsake with like it's got a magic trick inside it. It's very clever. So that in and of itself was very, very cool, and something that I hadn't seen before. Anyway, that's literally probably the only thing that I did, because my knees are still really playing up. But the other stuff that we've done, we were going to take our first son to the zoo today, but it's been a bit rainy, so we didn't go to that. It would have been miserable taking him to the zoo and taking pictures of animals sheltering miles away in the distance with our dog in the foreground. But we have taken him around looking. He's got a new harness, because the little catches on the harness where you tighten up the harness have been coming undone. And I've got in my head this idea that I'm going to open the car door one day to let him out, and he's just going to bound out of the car and bob across the car park, and we're going to lose him because he's an idiot. So we got a new harness for him, and he's very cute in it. He looks like a little star, and he is my princess. But yeah, what else have I been up to? I've been playing New Game Plus of Expedition 33. That's been really fun. I've done quite a bit of CG stuff. When I checked on Thursday, I think I was top 25%. But I don't know where I will be now, or I guess I'll find out tomorrow. I'll do a bit more of that. So my cape was securely on. It's a really nice way to pass the time, especially on a stream, because you can just chat about anything when you're just going to and fro between places, delivering copious amounts of what was I doing? The materials, the really cheap one, which was a stupid idea. Why do the really cheap one, Claire, you idiot? And yeah, I feel like that's been about it. My week's just been doing some CG stuff, just faffing about in space, really. It's about it, really.
Excellent. Right. We'll move on to the Chris Mark IV.
What have I been up to this week? Well, it was a nice long weekend. It wasn't a bank holiday up here, but I took the leave anyway. So had a nice sort of weekend. I had a friend that had a voucher for a restaurant in Edinburgh that had sort of amazing sort of city centre views across the castle and everything. So we went there on Saturday night, had a really good night out. Had a slightly sore head on the Sunday to do the radio program. Apart from that, it was all good. It was the Edinburgh Marathon on on Sunday, so all these very healthy runners were going past the bottom of my road, and yeah, I was nearby with a big mug of coffee, cheering them on. Slightly worse for wear, but apart from that, all good. So yeah, it was a nice weekend. Weather's turned up here. Everyone has known that I have been grumbly about the weather. It's safe to say the rain has arrived. Normality has been restored in Scotland. We can all continue now. It's
your fault, is it?
It's my fault. I've been doing the rain dance so much. Looks a lot like the cha-cha slide in person. But yeah, I've been doing...
I thought it was jumping around shouting, drizzle!
It's a combination of the cha-cha slide and the Macarena. So
wow.
I've been doing that for the last few weeks, and I finally got my wish. I'm sure it's all down to me. And normality has been restored that way, which means I've been indoors. And what have I been doing? So I have returned again to Planet Zoo for reasons. However, when I've not been distracted with Planet Zoo, I have donned cape because there is free stuff in the CG and profits to be had. So I have been taking part in the CG, delivering semiconductors for a lot of fake space money, which has been pretty good so far. So I've been doing a little bit of running back and forward with that. I have also completed my tourist settlement. It's only taken, I'm going to say 2 years, but I have completed my tourist settlement. It turned out it was right near the CG, and I'd been doing a bunch of CG deliveries, and I was like, well, I can now do like 2 hops, and I went over, I delivered some steel, and then it turned out I needed to do like 1 more run. So whenever I stopped with like 2 runs to go, and I don't know why. Something Planet Zoo something, I can only guess. But I have now completed it. It is there. It's a tourist settlement with large pads, so anyone can visit whenever they like and give me money. I make no money out of the tourist settlement. But now that I've got tourists, I've got crime. So I now need to build some sort of military outpost to shoot space tourists out of orbit.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's lads night out, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. It's all hen doos and stag doos, and they're causing mischief. So I now need snipers to get rid of the ruffians.
Oh dear, Chris Mark V.
Yep. So, funnily enough, some stuff is same exact same as Psykits. I haven't done any CG stuff. I've been hell diving to save Super Earth. It is going badly. really badly.
How many systems have you lost to the black hole now?
Well, Mars is mostly on fire.
Lovely.
2 or 3 planets have got destroyed completely. Then we stopped it. And then the squids have landed on Super Earth and destroyed... I think we've lost 3 out of the 7 megacities. So yeah.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like we've got to hold the remaining 4 for another 3 days. But doubtful it's going to happen. And I don't know what's going to happen after that.
It's one of those games where I like hearing what's happening, but I don't want to play.
I have it, and I'm also the same.
Dear. Right. Well, okay. My turn. Well, let's just say I have had the week from hell. Outside of death, divorce, or repossession, I think I can't think of anything worse. So we won't go into that. On more positive note, plenty of gaming. Onto, I think, the penultimate chapter of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Really enjoying it, but I'm getting scared closer to the end I get, which is is to be expected if you've played the previous version of Final Fantasy VII. And plenty of Elite. Yes, so much. Although I haven't done any of the CG yet, because it's a 2-week CG, which we will talk about later. So, yeah, I am involved in a conflict with the Emperor versus the Blue-Haired Bint. There's a conflict zone, and I am hauling everything I can to try and get the system into our grasp, and we've been winning all week until this afternoon, where I had to go and do something else, and all of a sudden the blue-haired bint has now jumped ahead of us. So
you now believe that you were single-handedly the one who was controlling all of that?
No, because the numbers were going up in far more volumes than I could handle. I was just contributing. It's just all of a sudden it seemed that I stopped, and then it seemed that she started to overtake us, and I'm there going, why? So I feel guilt about that. I feel guilty. Real life got in the way, and of course I've been hauling for my own system, just to try and finish it off before I move on to something else. Which will probably be the CG. So yeah, lots of Elite stuff. Yeah, good. At least I'm having fun in Elite.
Hey,
Hey.
something.
Yes. Right, moving on. Development news. What have the devs said this week? Well, there's only really been one small thing, and that was an update about the CG from Paul. It says, "Greetings, commanders. We are removing the requirement for the winning community goal. You have to be in the winning community goal to obtain the second set of module rewards. However, you must still be in the top 75% or above of your faction. The change is enabled for more commanders to support the trailing power during these competitive CGs, which I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. So this means everyone who contributes anything gets one set, and if you're in the top 75 of either thing,
you get
another set. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a competitive CG, but they've removed the competition.
Okay, no, they haven't.
Yeah, they have.
No, they haven't.
Yeah.
No, not necessarily. Right, so I've been saving this argument, Christopher. I have been saying, I'm going to use your given name.
Sunday name. You're in trouble.
I have been saving this argument specifically for tonight because I heard you. I saw what you said earlier, and it hasn't removed that. So what it's done is it's now allowing people to. Ideally, this should have been from the start, because what it does, if you have no, is it skin in the game? Is that the saying? If you have no skin in the game, and when somebody wins, they get more, you're going to give it a couple of days, you're going to look to see who the winning side is, and then you're going to pick the winning side.
Yeah, exactly what I did today when I delivered my 20 is I said I looked at which one was ahead and picked them because I would get more stuff.
Yeah.
And also there was, I don't know if it's the same Galnet that we're playing later, but a Galnet news went out, I think on Monday, highlighting the fact that if you want credits, if you want merits as Kane, sign up for Mayon, because you get credits by delivering to Mayon CG and like vice versa. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's also weird as well. Like everything about this is a bit strange. But if they take away the play group does better, gets better reward, you then get to make your choice narratively rather than based on reward. And that is really important. And I hope that's something that they continue with going forward. I'm just pissed that it happened now when it's a faction that I'm supporting is one of the two. Annoying. Also, when she's losing.
Yeah, there's still another thing which was slightly in the equation for the last one, which was that because you have all the tiers, and the higher the tier, the bigger final cash reward you get.
Yeah.
You also tend to pick the winning side because they're on a higher tier, and you're going to get a bigger cash payout. And I'd quite like to see that got rid of as well.
100% agree. Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, well, I suppose maybe it should be the average of what the two,
Yeah, maybe.
But...
Basically, what I'd like to see, they're obviously going to go through all the powers of these, and with these power versus power suchis, I really would like it that the only people who stand to get any advantage from one side over another are people that are pledged to one side over another, and the rest of us are just, joining in for a laugh.
Yeah. Well, that's effectively what I'm doing. So
I'll take the profit from selling this stuff. I mean, I'll have that.
Yeah.
Don't take away my profits, Alex. Some of us have got to save up here.
Yeah, no. I mean, the
Space
profit's
poverty.
fine as long as it's roughly equal either way, and so you're not.
I like what Faye Sky has just written in the Twitch chat, or a blind progress where you only see the final results at the end. That would be quite interesting as well. But also that leads to the potential for like arguments of, hey, well, it doesn't matter what we do, Frontier, we're just going to focus the numbers at the end.
Yeah, also difficult because obviously the journal and then EDSM is shipping all the results to Inara anyway. So
they could remove it from the journal for that thing.
Yeah, that's work though, isn't it?
Yeah, but the thing is, if you hid it and didn't say what the thing was, somebody'd get upset, make a YouTube video saying that Frontier hates the community and that's why they're not telling them.
I can't imagine who would do such a thing.
No one would do anything like that. That would be really weird.
What with a horrible sort of frowny face in the side corner?
Probably. Probably always.
I'm sorry, don't they all do that?
Do you?
It must be just me.
I'm fucking missing out then, man.
Oh, I must be getting mixed up with the Star Citizen videos then. Because there are a lot of funny faces at the moment.
I can imagine that people are a bit grumpy with that game. Well,
yeah, I'm getting a lot of that in my feed as well. Tom Cruise and Star Citizen, what is going on this week?
What, Tom Cruise is grumpy about Star Citizen?
Probably.
So yeah, the upshot of it is that you can now get your rewards regardless of which side you go for. Of course, the money still counts. Does it really? But yeah, well, it will for me because I still want. I'm almost there for a basic fleet carrier. So yay!
You're almost there.
Yeah, another 200 million, and I'm there. But as we all know, you need really 10 billion in order to have a fully equipped.
Hang on, this number's going up.
I know it is.
It's like chasing a moving goalpost.
Yeah, I just found this out. I thought 5 billion, I'll get myself a fleet carrier, hey presto. But then no, I want it with all the trimmings. I didn't realise we had to clean out chimneys out of your fleet carrier, but never mind.
What's happening?
Oh, we're taking Thomas the Tank Engine to Tangent Town, so let's we'll get back, right? So yes, always there for the 5 billion, but I do know that really, if I want the fleet carrier that I want, would be 10 billion, not the basic one that I'll end up with. I just know it. Anyway, we'll move on and hand over to Alec for the community news.
And now, to the community coroner.
It's a dead game, innit, mate?
Forgotten how this works. What do I do?
It's been 1 week, man. Come on.
Yeah, no, it's all right. I've got it. I've got it. I haven't got very much actually, but I have got some stuff. First up, this will come as no surprise to anyone because this seems to have gone completely bonkers viral and everyone is talking about it. It is a video on YouTube by Tim with lots of M's called "Elite Dangerous is Nothing." Um, I'm not quite sure what to make of it. It's 38 minutes long, and in the comments, I put something to the effect of, "What the hell did I just watch? I need to watch it again. I think it's brilliant, but I'm not sure." Something like that. It's yeah, it's a 38-minute long video essay about Elite Dangerous, although it takes you quite a while before you even get to the Elite being mentioned, which draws parallels with a late 1950s epic science fiction poem called Aniara, Review of Time and Space by a Swedish Nobel laureate, Harry Martinson. I wish I
Amazing.
could, yeah, I wish I could claim to be all academic and have actually heard of this, but I haven't. But yeah, it's quite a piece of work. I mean, not just the kind of the poetry of weaving in the narrative of Elite's history with this intriguing science fiction poem, but also just the production value on it. Yeah, somebody said Carl Sagan. I saw that a few times. The production value is extraordinary, and this guy has clearly got some role play costumes and has gone out into some amazing locations and filmed bits of himself, doing his kind of best Carl Sagan or James Burke, somebody else said, I think. He's kind of acting, he's done he's done pieces to camera, there's amazing editing. It's quite a piece of work. And I don't know if anyone's heard of Tim with 3Ms, but flicking through his channel, he's obviously not new to making these really quite extraordinary videos on all sorts of video games. So I might dip in and look at some of his other stuff as well, because it's intriguing. It's quite a big long watch, 38 minutes. And I suspect you will either bounce off it after 5 minutes or get well and truly sucked in. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting video.
I was one of those that were there going, "How did he do all this?" Was it for a just about entry?
No,
no, don't think
I
so.
don't believe so.
Wow.
I think he just he just makes these videos. He has appeared on my YouTube homepage before, and I've clicked on one of his videos before and just sort of watched the first 5 minutes and gone, and then there was an Elite Dangerous video that came up, and I was like, yes, please, I'm gonna watch that, and it's really, really, really good. I highly recommend watching it. I don't watch a lot of these videos. I'm joking.
Yeah, it's pretty different. If you've sat through 100 of the montages that I've shouted out over the past few years, then yeah, this one's a bit different. You might like it. Right. I've got a couple of. I normally tend to pick short videos, mostly because I tend to watch short videos. But actually, speaking of Just About, they did their kind of make a short Elite Dangerous movie reward. It actually had to be 20 minutes or more, I think.
15, I think it was.
Was it? Okay. I think the thing that was at the end of last week's show from Pete and Jude, I think that was their submission for it, which is really cool. There's a couple of others that I'm just going to shout out. One was called Echoes of the Galaxy by Commander John Wick, which is a voice acted story in 6 acts and a kind of. I struggle with this sort of thing slightly. So it's a semi-fictionalized story of the brother of D2 meeting a friend and then heading out to investigate the Alexandria and INRA bases and Guardian sites and stuff. It's really cool and it's really well done. I just always struggle slightly when people mess with the lore, like coming up with the brother of D2, and I don't know. It's good. It's fine. It doesn't contravene anything that's lore. It just sort of supplements it, I suppose. So that's one, and then the other one is called The Heart Within, Machinima, by Oraxus Animus, who we featured a few times before. In his video description, he just says, a machinima-style video set in the Elite Dangerous universe. It's a mixture of cinematic action, thriller, horror, and drama. It features 13 uniquely voiced characters and 5 locations. The premise is loosely related to the Bug Killer story, if people remember that. There's a bunch of logs and a little SRV and on a planet surface, and a character called Clark Barrow who appears in this machinima video. And it explores the eerie rumors about the true purpose of Thargoid abductions. Yeah, they're both quite good watches, actually. Bit longer than normal. Right. Next up is back to traditional short Elite Dangerous montage videos of music. Another really good one called Tell Me Why by Commander Reget. It's quite long for a music montage. It's 8.5 minutes. They generally around 3 or 4. But it does feature just brilliant photography and editing. And it's also soundtracked by a track called Tell Me Why by Supermode, which is pretty much a rip-off of the instrumental from Bronski Beat's Small Town Boy, which is a song I absolutely adore, and anything that's got anything vaguely like that on it, I just completely sucked into it. So yeah, that was a really good watch. Right, onwards. This is an interesting one. So people may remember and be aware of the Buckyball Sagittarius A-Star Challenge. This is in many ways the original Buckyball race. So back before the Buckyball Racing Club was even a thing, a commander called Electric Z basically did Buckyball runs back before the game was even released. That is the origin of it all. He came up with the name Buckyball and the name Buckyball Run, and there was a soul to Sagittarius A-Star race basically as soon as that was possible in game. Reiko in the Buckyball Racing Club, Commander Reiko, has been diligently maintaining the records of this ever since. So pretty much for 10 years. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of entries in about 8 different classes, from Neutron Allowed to Classic class to Engineered. It's just the leaderboards themselves are quite a piece of work. Anyway, the previous record time of 1 hour, 15 minutes and 5 seconds, which was set by Flying Penguin in an Anaconda pretty much this time last year, with give or take a week, has been beaten by a newcomer to the Buckyball Sagittarius A-Star Challenge. So Commander T. Rever, with lots of V's, completed the run on Friday in a Mandalay in 1 hour, 14 minutes and 14 seconds, and then came back again on Sunday and did it even faster. 1 hour. So the new record from Sol Sajay is 1 hour, 12 minutes, 48 seconds. So huge congrats to T Rever on that.
It's faster on the way back because it's downhill.
Yeah. I kind of expect that challenge to wake up again a little bit now, with the Mandalay and that record. I can see some of the old hands coming back at that, maybe.
Do you reckon there's a do you reckon there's an hour in it?
I don't know. I mean, it really has been creeping down by minutes. So for somebody to suddenly knock off 12 minutes, I don't know. Maybe the Mandalay can shake it up. What I don't know about T Rever's run is some of the really, really top Sol to Sajay runs were done by people who would do a dry run very slowly and meticulously over the course of weeks, where they would basically build up a manual route. They'd route plot manually the perfect route. And I don't know if T River did that or not. Probably. But yeah, watch this space, I guess.
Incredible.
Yeah, it is really, isn't it? 1 hour 12. It took me, what did it take me many, many years ago? It took me 15 hours, I think 15.5 hours to get there.
I feel like the quickest I've done it is about 1 hour 40 something. I think I have an Anaconda that is basically built just to do Sol Sajay runs. I was obsessed with it for a while, so it might have been like 1 hour 30, might have just crept under 1 hour 40, and then I went, I'm good.
That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Panther Clipper sweepstake is something I heard about when I listened back to the show last week. What's happening?
Hey. There is a link in in Discord, on Twitter, on Blue Sky. There's a link on in those places. If you look for it on our socials, I will repost them to this evening at some point, just getting them reposted so you can see them again. They are we're doing a sweepstake. There are prizes, asterisk. I know one prize, I'm not telling you what it is. There are prizes that for getting closest to these. Basically we're looking for 2 answers: the max cargo, and then also the max cargo. And when I say max cargo, I mean no docking computer, no shield. So just chuck cargo racks into your Panther Clipper. And then the other question is, what do you think the cost stock or like of a stock Panther Clipper is going to be? We might not get these answers tomorrow on Frontier Unlocked. It will close the I will close the submissions on Frontier just as Frontier Unlocked starts on the 28th of May. So if you're listening to this on Thursday, you're shit out of luck. But it's been live for a while. We've got a lot of responses already. You can go back in and edit your responses. If you wrote in, this is a PSA to the person who wrote in, let me know, reached out to me on Discord and then didn't tell me their name. You can go back in and re-edit your answers to change it so it actually says what your name is. Please consider doing that, because you gave genuine answers, and some people who didn't give genuine answers and made me chuckle. So thank you for that as well. But yeah, we've got like 130 something at last count. So yeah, by all means get in. Price is Right rules, not a penny over and not a unit over, but closest wins. I don't know what. I'll get in touch.
Cool if you want a Panther Clipper.
It's definitely not going to be that.
Oh. All right.
Or it might be, who knows?
You never know.
It's not.
I've done my part. I got quite scientific on it actually, and well, we'll see.
Oh,
There was somebody.
I just guessed.
Let me pull it up because I thought it was really, really funny. In our Discord, Isla Candela just put in way too much time on my guess for the Clipper. They went from sure, why not enter, to whiteboard conspiracy guy way too fast. And I was like, I realize now I haven't done it. I'm in such a mood, and I'll be submitting my own later.
Brilliant. Good. Right. I'm going to close out Community Corner with a new thing. Actually, I don't know if this will become a thing or a one-off, but I think I mentioned on the show that Spanch had added a filter to the station and system search boxes in their fantastic website, which meant you can search for colonized systems. Well, colonized, yes, no, or don't care. Which means I can do a thing that I was curious to do, which is I can search for colonized systems and then sort on population and give you a rundown of the top 5 by population.
Obviously, we need countdown music.
I'm not doing the music. I'm not doing the music. I'm just gonna quickly run down it. I don't know if this will ever change, and I will come on to why in a second. But I just thought it was interesting. I'll do it again next week if it changes and if it seems interesting. So from in 5th we have the hardest to pronounce name. It's Col 285 Sector CKQ C5-24. It's controlled by the East India Company. I'm not going to give out the name of architects because people haven't volunteered this information and they might not want their name called out on Lave. But yes, so that is owned by the East India Company. The system only has one Acela starport in it, and it has a population of 1,283,728,193. Next up, HIP 753, controlled by the Celestial Light Brigade, has 1 Orbis, 1 settlement, and a population of 1,291,000 and some other numbers. HIP 54980, controlled by the Kentari Mandate, has 1 Orbis and 1 station listed as unknown. That's probably a fault somewhere in Spanch or EDSM. Not EDSM, but you know what I mean. And that has 1,336,000,000 and something. The next one in second place, HIP 106080, is owned by some faction called the Burian Protectorate. Can't imagine who that would be. That has 1 Orbis and 1 settlement, and a population of 1,351,000 and something. And the winner, currently the highest populated system at the moment, is HIP 19030. Controlled by the Astrobiology Research Cooperative, which has 1 planet port, 1 Orbis, and 3 settlements, and a population of 1,430,933,984.
Where are all these people coming from?
What's interesting is, so I did speak to Burr because it was clearly it was clearly a station from someone in the Burr pit in second place, because I was curious. It's not. I expected these high population systems to have loads of Orbises and things, but it's only 1 Orbis and 1 settlement. But it was built in the first week, so as a sort of Burr pit. Obviously, they've got a group. They can mobilize. They can do stuff. So they had that Orbis built in the first week, and I guess there's a population increases week on, week out. So I suspect with all of these systems, getting an Orbis built in that first week, or the first week or 2, has just given them a head start. So we will. It remains to be seen whether they hit some ceiling and slow down, and then systems that have been built out more catch them up or not. But intrigued. I will keep an eye on it. Oh, incidentally, all those systems were basically high tech and agriculture. Apart from HIP 753, which was tourism and agriculture. I'm not saying build agriculture if you want a big population, but it certainly seems to go hand in hand.
For some reason, I've just got the feeling that all these systems are populated by, the babies from the Doctor Who episode.
No, we don't talk about that episode.
No.
That's the only thing I can think of where all these people are coming from. Anyway, if you have a community event taking place soon and you'd like us to shout about it across the airways, tweet the crew at Lave Radio, or even Blue Sky us, or email at info@laveradio.com. So, the in-game events. What's been happening this week? Well, it's pretty obvious. On the 22nd of May, 2311, 2 trading blocks compete in alliance space. Yes, Kane and Mahan are trading against each other. You can choose one or the other and put your cape on and get your power distributors. So, it's got another week to run, another week, 1 day. Not quite so sure. Is Mahan actually winning at the moment?
Oh, by fucking miles, mate. Like, miles. Utter miles. We're being trounced. Where are those fuckers who got us up to 60 stations in 1 week? Where are they? Come and do some delivery. No, I'm fine. I'm fine about it. I'm fine about it. I get 2 now anyway. It's not a problem.
That's fine. I think I'll be heading over to help Kane anyway. But yeah. So yes, that's all the in-game events this week.
Is seriously? I mean, I know Ben's not here, but is seriously nobody going to mention the name of the station that we have to deliver to if we're supporting Kane? Thank you. We can move on now.
I've been going to fuck a dock all the way.
I've just spotted that.
Sorry, I just couldn't leave that hanging. It's like, come on, people.
Bloody.
Are we not Lave Radio?
Bloody Pete on his Galnet News Digest talking about it, calling it Fuka Dock. I lost my mind. It was great.
Yeah, as if everyone's coming in. No, it's Uranus. It's Uranus. No, it's not.
No, it's not. Come on, my guy.
Yeah, right. No, I'm Miss Bouquet. Yeah, bucket. No. Power play rankings. In 12th, we have Torval, who has gained 7 systems and is up to 514. In 11th, we have Winters, who has gained 4 systems and up to 556. Patreus gains a single system in 10th place, and he's now up to 635. In 9th, Delaney gains 2 more systems and to reach 655. Kane gains only 6 systems this week, but she's up to 743. So that leaves Antal. He's up 6 systems to 757. Kane is catching Antal quite quickly. It might be another switch change next week, so that means I'll probably have the week off. In 6th, we've got gaining 9 systems. We have Archer, who is basically started to level peg it with Lee Yong-ru in 5, who's also gained 9 systems, who's now up to 915. In 4th, we have Yuri Grom gaining 4 systems, bringing his total to 1,053. And Arissa, the Emperor herself, has gained 9 systems, bringing her total to 1,412. Mahan seems to be stagnant yet again, having gained just 2 systems this week, up to 1,488. But pulling off.
Excuse me.
But where's Ben when you need him?
90% of you fuckers wish.
Pulling far ahead again, we have the blue-haired princess, who is now up to 515, having gained yet another 13 systems. And that is your power play ranking this week.
Really pulling ahead, isn't she?
Yeah.
It's not like, jokes aside. I tell you what it is for all of the Man supporters. They're all
busy
doing
with
the community goal.
Arissa's got more strongholds and more fortifieds.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
they don't count it that way. No.
Who's top in the Nicey ranking? I haven't looked.
The Nicey ranking and the loose screws ranking. On the subject of loose screws, and I'd like to just highlight this. There does seem to be a known issue with power play conflict zones not spawning properly in contested systems. I know because I'm in a contested system right now, and there's not a single conflict zone when there should be. So yeah, FDev know about this. It's on the issue tracker, so we've put a link in the show notes that, you know, if you want to say, we want our conflict zones, please give it a vote. Thank you.
So what's the actual problem there? Just out of curiosity.
I think what happens is that power play conflict zones spawn incredibly briefly, but then the BGS kicks in and the BGS conflict zone spawns, and then that kicks out all the power play.
Yeah,
right.
Something like that.
Or you don't get them at all, which is what happened in this one. Where there's no BGS war to speak of, but I don't know whether it's because it's 2 imperial systems and, you know, 2 imperial powers going at each other, just like if it was 2 federal powers going at each other. I don't know whether you get conflict zones then. But yeah. So yeah, it's a bit of a painful one, that. Would you believe it? The BGS gets in the way of power play and vice versa.
And that's not it. That's not as intended then. Someone ought to check those design notes.
Right, so it's that time of the week again.
Store alert! In the bi-weekly newsletter, here come paint jobs for your art. In the bi-weekly newsletter, here come paint jobs for your art. A store alert, a store alert, a store alert, a store alert, a store alert. Which one will you buy? A store alert, 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 a store alert.
Excellent. Right. Well, there's no real new stuff, but it's the sale that's the important thing. The Type 9 trading upstart ship, that's now 40% off. So you get a lovely Type 9 with a few skins and a ship skin and obviously a ship kit and a whole load of little tweaks and extra things to help with your trading needs, as if there's, I don't know, some CG that might need a lot of trading. So, hey, at least they got the timing right this time.
Hey.
They've got the laser mining one and came in too late last time.
Yeah.
So
colonizing as well, I expect. And it comes with a commercial G decal.
I know. It's very nice. If you like your brick like that. So yeah, there's also a lot of the modern ships golden chrome skins which are on sale until the 29th of May, where they will be dropped from the store.
Ooh.
I know that was much to the birds grumbling.
Yeah,
it's that word, isn't it? It's the word
year round.
Transportation year round.
Yeah, is it? Will there be a sale all year round, or is it everything in the store is going to be all year round? Yeah, it's eat, shoots, and leaves. That's
It's tricky because there definitely is a way that you could interpret. If you're being super forgiving and to Frontier, there is certainly a way you could interpret their initial thing where you sort of go, okay, maybe there was a mistype, but there's only so many times that you can continually forgive mistypes and people not reading and things not coming to fruition. I'm sorry, I'm only supposed to say good things about Frontier, but I'm bothersome.
Yes. Yeah. This is a little bit of a moment.
Yeah. It's like, but it's like that wanting something to do really well all the time, and then when there's such a big slip, do you know what I mean? When there's such a huge slip, and you just sort of go, oh, and it was going so well,
Yeah.
Right. FOMO marketing is poo.
Huh?
FOMO marketing is poo.
FOMO marketing is poo.
Yeah,
100%.
FOMO. Who hates the FOMO? Yeah. Right. That's why I got 3 Elite Dangerous accounts, so I don't have FOMO. Ah, dear. Right. I think we'll take our ad break, and then we'll come back with a little bit of chat.
Is your life like this? It could be like this.
Astrogator Tours. Put some excitement back in your life. Book an adventure in the Lave Business Directory. Now.
The what now?
There's bargains at Etienne Dawn's Unspecified Meat Emporium. Etienne Dawn's Unspecified Meat Emporium haven't just been slicing carcasses, but also slicing their prices. All unspecified meat sausages now 2 for the price of 1. A pack of assorted meat steaks, now with 50% more meat at half the price. How about chops? Our surprising meat chops now also 50% off. And introducing our massive meat hamper. It's a family of 4. No, that should say feeds a family of 4, right?
Stick to the script, Claire. It says it's a family of 4.
Okay, I'll stick to the script.
Yeah, you do that.
It's a family of 4. Etienne Dawn's Unspecified Meat Emporium. Find us in the Lave Business Directory or visit us next to the station mortuary. Etienne Dawn's Unspecified Meat Emporium. You'll wonder how our prices are so low. Listen here, ladies. While your man is out and about bringing home the bacon, you need to make sure you look your best, which is why we present to you our Lady Shave. It's small enough to fit into your dainty lady hands and releases a perfumed scent as you cut away that ghastly body hair.
Listen here, ladies. Say no to substandard shaving. At Saracen, we believe a woman deserves a shave as good as a man's. Introducing the Panther Clipper for women. Gone are the days of your unruly body hair making you look like a bedraggled alpaca. The Panther Clipper is the biggest, baddest shaver credits can buy. And now, it's available in pink. A shave so smooth you'll need a tighter Dominator suit. The new Panther Clipper Lady Shave from Saracen. It's exactly what you've been asking for. In pink.
Hey Commanders, this is Mick from Crazy Mick's Reptile Emporium and Warehouse. Due to a hysterical ordering mishap and not reading the fine print, I'm currently in possession of over 10,000 snakes. Many of which are deadly, so everything must go. We have anacondas, asps, cobras, diamondbacks, fodlans, keelback, kraits, mambas, pythons, sidewinders and vipers, none of which are capable of spaceflight without being strapped to a rocket. Need a pet for your cockpit? Buy a snake. Need to scare your mother-in-law and give her a heart attack for the insurance money? Buy a snake. Need to fill a beluga full of snakes to assassinate a witness on their way to a Federation courthouse? Buy many snakes. Bulk discounts are available at Crazy Mick's Reptile Emporium and Warehouse. You can find us in the Lave Business Directory or visit us at the former site of Sensible Michael's Shipyard and Outfitting Warehouse. Will somebody get these mother snakes out of my mother warehouse?
Welcome back. Right. Well, our question of the week came out between 2:30 and 3 on.
Nope. No, it was earlier than that. It was well earlier than that. I was on it. I was on it. I was ready to go. Frontier tweeted, and they gave me my question of the week, so it wasn't too much of a problem because Frontier Unlocked's coming up.
Yes, because tomorrow. Yes, we kind of lose track because of the bank holiday. It kind of throws you out for the rest of the week. But yeah, we've got the Frontier Unlocked tomorrow, and they were going to talk about things, including Vanguards. So the question, Claire.
Yes, Colin. The question of the week was like predominantly I know this it feels like a broken record because we have talked about Vanguards before, but we're going to talk about it again because we'll probably talk about it after next week when we have Arthur on the show next week. But we would anyway, Vanguards, what are you hoping to see as part of the update? And if you're a solo commander, what would encourage you to engage with Vanguards? So I thought we could probably just like have a read of some people's answers and then talk through them rather than that way around.
Yeah, that way around, which is absolutely fine because I have Epsilon Orbital. I think some interesting ways for players to interact would be nice. Setting goals and being able to give out rewards would be definitely fun. And perhaps having more ways to interact with the BGS would be neat, although I'm not counting on it. Yeah, because one of the things that they said was that in the new system, it looks like this is a way that they're going to try and encourage new players to join, and they will encourage older players to help newer players by setting tasks.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. A lot of that at the moment, a lot of like the setting tasks and the standing orders and all of those kind of things are done using third party apps. So things like if you've got an EDMC plugin, like Hutton, for example, the Hutton orders will go out on the Hutton EDMC plugin, or like
the Hutton Helper.
The Hutton Helper, yeah, or any Discord or any like player groups Discord will tend to have like sort of like sit rep and standing orders and things like that. Just for, I know from my experience, just for things for them to do. For people, if they're at a loose end, hey, do you fancy doing it? I know there's probably like really, really heavy BGS groups who are like, no, you must do this, kind of left, right, and center. And if that's your bag, that's great. Seeing that, I agree with Epsilon Orbital that seeing that moving to be on or as part of the game would be really cool and really nice to see.
I don't know why it hasn't occurred to me before, but the way Epsilon Orbital phrased it immediately made me think all these people that are saying they want to do colonization but don't want to do hauling, maybe they can set goals for other people to do it for them.
Interesting. Interesting. One of the thing I'm wondering is whether or not your Vanguard you could set a nemesis to, which is basically another Vanguard, and you say, okay, as of now, we're at war with this Vanguard, and from that point on, certain mechanics are in place where little enemy labels are put up against any players that are, or any ships that are running for that particular Vanguard.
It's going to get very confusing because it's like, am I an enemy because I've committed a crime and I'm wanted, or am I an enemy because I'm in an opposing power, or am I an enemy because I'm in an opposing Vanguard?
Well, no, because if you're wanted, you're wanted. If you're an enemy, it comes up enemy, and I have seen wanted / enemy against some.
Really, you can see both.
Oh, yeah.
Both.
You can see both.
Interesting. I'm not sure I've seen that. That's cool.
Yeah, so maybe you could have wanted enemy Vanguard.
Yeah. Opponent.
Yeah. need another adjective there, I think.
Opposing vanguards, dueling vanguards.
OV.
Unguard the vanguards.
Oh dear.
It's a way of doing it. I do like the idea of being able to sort of set a mission and give rewards, but you need to have a lot of money in the bank. You need to have a lot of money in the bank, in the guild bank, the Vanguard bank, in order to be able to give all that out.
So that's going to be the question: who's going to be the Vanguard banker?
I can tell you, it's going to be the Vanguard banker for my squadron. It might get her to start playing again. She's really good at treasury. There she goes. Already in chat, Katie writes, Lasai. She knows the place.
The administrative department has given you some tasks.
Oh no, HR wants to have a word.
Oh no.
Oh no, it's Karen in HR.
Here's the thing. Let's not make like some of you, yeah, that's great. I'm sure you'll love it, but don't make it become another job. It's a video game.
How dare you? Commander Dirk Hatch. It would be nice to see squadron members' contributions towards squadron goals so that they can get the recognition and potentially rewards for their efforts. So like a league table when tasks are set.
I thought we had that.
It's already there, isn't it? But nobody pays it any attention anymore.
But
hang on, no.
Isn't there? Isn't there a squadron leaderboard thing?
There is, but it's not individual squadron members.
Oh, I see. You mean leaderboard within a squadron rather than squadrons versus squadrons.
Oh no, now you've got me looking up the blooming squadrons now. I haven't looked that up in years.
Yeah, so squadrons has there are squadron leaderboards. There's like I think 8 different, at least 8, I will say, different areas that your squadron can rank. I think the highest my squadron got was like 10th at one point, and I think that might have been AX when we were going nuts for it. But it's you get a little. If you're part of the squadron when they are 1, 2, or 3, you get a little bobblehead on your dash. But I think what Hatch is saying is like the individual squadron members' contributions for recognition of who's pulling their weight the most in the squadron. I'm not that asked about that personally, because any contribution is a good contribution, and people have some people don't work and treat this as a job.
Yeah, but yeah, that's one thing that I've really hated, is because the people in other MMOs, because I took a week, sort of a month off SWTOR, they kicked me out of the guild because they thought I wasn't, wanting to contribute, and it's because basically I had to take time away from the game. But you're kicked out, and there was no appeal and all that kind of stuff, and I was just, I don't want that kind of drama again.
Yeah. Yeah, I worry that I don't know. I kind of like the idea of all all pigs being equal.
Yeah.
I completely forgot there was league tables. I've just been exploring the league tables to see what everyone's up to. You know, we were wondering what different charts are there, but it turns out there's tons for squadrons.
I was like, there's 8, and then I went, no, there's definitely more than 8.
Yeah.
I don't know. Interesting, because there is, as Hatch has just reiterated in chat, he is like he wants to make sure that they can get a thank you, but also there's that. Yes, that's great, and it's lovely to thank people for their efforts, but also it's like, well, why haven't you done that? I worry about stuff like that. Maybe I'm too sensitive. Maybe it's on me. Maybe I'm like this. Maybe I'm too sensitive, and I should take a good look at myself. Anyway, Daedalus says that they're definitely a solo commander in Elite, and yet they played Monster Hunter World loads. If they could be matched with other commanders and opt out of PvP, they'd be all for it.
Hmm. Interesting.
That's private group, though, isn't it?
Other commands and opt out of PvP.
Yeah, that would be joining the Mobius group.
Yeah, or like any most private groups.
Yeah, because
I've just I wonder if they mean more than that. I wonder if they mean sort of explicitly matched up with some people to do some specific thing, not just be in a group where you might encounter other commanders who aren't going to attack you, but more specific. I remember because prior to Elite, I played. I did some Warcraft. I did some SWTOR. I bumped around a bunch of sort of MMOs, Secret World and things. There was a Lord of the Rings. Yes, there was a Lord of the Rings MMO that I think I dabbled with after Warcraft at one point. Is it still going?
Oh God, yeah.
Okay, now I can't remember why this was, but like in Warcraft, I really generally wasn't interested in other people at all. Like I loved the fact that I could go to the marketplace or the auction house and see lots of other players, but I didn't want to interact. Like when it came to doing missions or whatever, I very much wanted to do it at my own pace and in my own time. But and I wish I could remember what it was about Lord of the Rings, but there was something about the way Lord of the Rings did kind of matchmaking for little sort of 3 or 4 person missions that made it very easy to kind of get into. I didn't sort of begrudge it. I wish I could. I don't know if you played it enough, Colin, to know what I'm hinting at, but I just remember it feeling easy, and I did end up doing quite a few little quests with 2 or 3 or 4 other players, and it just kind of eased you into it really nicely.
Yeah, with both SWTOR and some of the other MMOs, one of the most important things was a good looking for group tool.
Yeah,
which would match you quite quickly. And then the thing was, and this is going to be an issue for Elite, because it would then bring you all together into your own little instance, and then off you'd run. But that's a problem with Elite. If you're looking for a group and someone's over the other side of the galaxy, when they go, "Oh, join your group," which is the whole reason why there's supposed to be that teleporting thing that never happened. So yeah.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay, I have one from Nicey. API access, of course, and a weekly system similar to powerplay. E.g., if a system is infrastructure failure, a task would appear telling members to go and do restore missions, with the reward being extra influence. Plus, let us share modules. Please.
That's from Nicey.
Yeah.
Yeah, your bank and sharing stuff, sharing modules, I guess.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, that's one of the things about giving a hand up to new players, wasn't it? Sort of, here you go. We can lend you the hyper rare power distributor that we spent ages running cargo for, and
Yeah.
you can have it for a little while. Don't let your ship get destroyed, otherwise we all lose it.
I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at it. I'm really not.
Yeah, it'd be quite nice. Like you could have Guardian frameshift boosters and things in the guild store, couldn't you? And if you were all bundling out somewhere to do a mission or something, you could lend it to new players.
Yeah. Like the idea of something like that in game really, really appeals to me, and it always has.
I don't quite get the practicalities of loaning things, like when does the loan expire and how is it not an indefinite loan? But
I'm happy to just give shit to people, honestly.
Well, yeah.
At this point, the amount of stuff that I have, maybe with a caveat around stuff that you've bought. You know what I mean? Like the early access shit.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
You
No,
wouldn't
they
be able
won't.
to share anything which has got like the handbag symbol on it.
Because they've been so careful to make sure that you can't even store like a cargo rack that came with one of those things. You know, effectively you've used real world money to buy yourself a cargo rack. You can't store it and put it on another ship or anything like that.
Thank
Right,
you very
anyway.
much for joining my Vanguard. I've loaned you my frameshift booster. You've got halfway to Colonia. I'm just going to remotely claw that back.
Yeah, I want it back now.
Good luck on the rest of your journey.
I've got some bloke called Elvis Kremen.
I've heard of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
crashed
see what
into
they have
them at
to
the
say.
weekend.
You did crash into it at the weekend. I remember that.
I think I'm most excited for sharing engineered things with other commanders that can't partake in that side of the game for one reason or another. Hoping for something that brings squadrons together better. All these random systems people are in now needs some coordination, please, Frontier.
Yep.
Yep, I agree with the dog.
Yep. Archie was very happy about that one. I've managed to shut the door and everything, and you still heard him. Little sod.
Artie agrees with Kremen. Good.
Nah, that can't be true.
Been treating him for nothing.
Yeah. Something that brings squadrons together better. So I'm assuming that Kremen means like a better squadron interface. Because at the moment with squadrons, we have a chat. And then there is a leaders chat.
Yeah.
And then there's a place where you can put... Isn't there a place that you can put something? Not just like blurb.
Sort of like rule of the day
there
or
is.
something like that.
Yeah, you can do. Yeah. I used to, for a very brief while, there's a buckyball squadron, and I used to post about, message day about upcoming races, and I used to post results, but it was work, and I just got bored of doing it, and nobody read it anyway. Everyone just went to the Discord, and that is one of my things I'm curious about with Vanguards is, will people use the stuff they come up with, or at the end of the day, will people still just use Discord?
Yeah.
Does it need to have an out-of-game element, sort of like via the website or something, where people can check in without being in-game, which I guess is counterintuitive for a games company? But you know what I mean? It's like, because all these systems, like we keep saying, oh yeah, you put this in, but a lot of this stuff is what people are doing using Google Sheets, Discord, TeamSpeak, like so many other media.
While they're at work, while they're on the phone, while they're anywhere and everywhere, they can check these things. They can edit them.
When I was when my back was at its worst and I was still in my previous squadron and my back was as bad as it was, I was still I wasn't logging into the game, and I was still managing the BGS, posting the orders, because I could go on to Inara, I could go on to the BGS app website, see where we were, see what needed doing, and writing down the BGS orders. So I was doing that. That was my, hey, I'm still involved in Elite, even though I can't sit up at my computer and play. The thing that I was doing, and that there is absolutely 10,000% a requisite for that, especially with some of like the much bigger factions. I don't know now that colonization has just split everyone up and factions are gaining systems left, right, and center. But I wonder if there is a way to have like all of that information on the website as well, or if that would be too much.
I think this is the problem. It's okay actually reading stuff from the API. I think Frontier, if you're on about posting orders via, say, the API or a third-party app, which would obviously use the API, the problem is that Frontier would have to look at security in a really serious way, because even putting in text these days is getting a bit of a risk.
What if it's like their side, like their website as well? That's all intrinsically linked. I don't know whether that is even something that is feasible with Elite in the state that it is at the moment. But bridging that gap, so so I can still check in on the BGS from.
I mean, yeah.
Or
I mean,
with my squadron, you know.
I mean, I would love that kind of functionality where you've got not the core gameplay, but some of the supporting gameplay, like squadrons and the fleet carrier, for instance, where you could, say, okay, I'll send my fleet carrier to that way while I'm at work, and that'll be all ready for me when I come home.
God.
And that kind of thing. So you could already, but I'll tell you one thing: you'd have to be careful, because before you know it, you'll be at work, and there all of a sudden you go, "Oh, I just do a couple of things in the squadron," and then you go, "Where's half the afternoon gone?"
I mean, sure, I could live with that. That's my own fault for opening it. But also, I mean, you've made the whole point there, Colin, in that oh my gosh, what was it? We've wanted a way to be able to move our fleet carriers from being remotely for eons, and as Chris said, where's the priority for that for Frontier, because they want us in the game.
Yeah, but if you weren't going to be in the game anyway and you still wanted to move it, then
Yeah, I know, weird. I don't know what the solution is.
The pilot that and then takes it costs you arcs. That's the way to get Frontier interested.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, the sort of 10 arcs per movement from the remote.
Yeah.
100, at least 100.
You've got to bung some money to the crew via arcs in order to get it shuffled.
I know you're joking about this, but to be honest, I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, same.
I would actually, even though there'd be a whole load of complaints about, that's pay to win, I'd be quite happy just to pay for the convenience there, because I think it's paying for convenience rather than paying to win. But yeah, that'll be a whole other argument, and no doubt another 30 pages on the forum. So I've got Kitiana. I'm hoping I'll be able to outsource engineering. I don't like engineering, but I know people who do, so I would like to give them more fun while making my life better. Win-win. Excited to see what it brings, though, and hoping it doesn't completely dissolve squadrons in the process. It's funny that I keep on thinking that it's going to replace squadrons, but retain a lot of squadron functionality.
I think now Katie will have to correct me, and I'm sure she will if I'm wrong. I think Katie's like, what I want it to do is sort of like sit on top of squadrons, so you don't have to then reapply to join your squadron or make a squadron and or make a Vanguard and all of that. It just sort of like changes the name and adds the new functionality. I think that's what she means, and she's confirmed that for me. So
Yeah. So within your Vanguard, there's a squadron, and within your squadron, there's a wing, and within the wing, there's commanders, and the commanders.
No. So Elite basically just goes, hey, your squadron is your squadron isn't called a squadron anymore. It's called a Vanguard. It's still got all the people in it who wanted to be in it in the first place. But hey, look at all of this new stuff that is now part of your Vanguard. So squadrons disappears, but you just keep that little tag which says that you were already a member of that squadron, and then that tag in your journal, whatever, that says that you're a member of that squadron now transfers to you being a member of that same Vanguard, instead of having to start again and then go in and choose your Vanguard.
Yeah. I'm sorry, that Vanguard name's already taken by a squadron, so you can't
absolutely go fuck yourself.
Oh dear. Sorry. Right, I have got Cheb's Will. I can only think of a few things. The Vanguards have a way to talk to other Vanguards in game. Would be good. A system, bulletin board, or something, so they can announce to others that we're here now and be friendly or not. So that you could sort of post like an external bulletin to every other Vanguard saying if you're there to kill them or not. Or some in-game method of seeing what Vanguards are operating in an area, like the ships passing through systems, being visible at a station. But for Vanguards, it could say something like Simon's Vanguard has operated a lot in the system in the last 24 hours. Or not a lot, depending on how much the system influence has been affected by members of the Vanguard. I'm sure a lot of players would like bigger wings. I know it didn't work in World War II, but might work now. Or maybe inter-wing voice comms. Remember the voice comms?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they were bad though, weren't they?
Well, I don't know. I quite like them because it sounded very sort of spacey with a little beep at the end.
Yeah, still
That's why I thought they were bad.
The beep.
You got the little clicks and the beeps and the bloops and all the bits and pieces. I like the idea of like having a bulletin board where the Vanguard can post. So in addition to having our banker administrator, we now need an ambassador who's going across all the other Vanguards to declare intentions. You know, it's if we're imposing our tariffs or we're about to wage war on you, so we're deploying our ambassadors ahead of our
ambassador, diplomat, liar.
Liar, yeah, politician, whatever you want.
Used to say, well, why do you call the guy that talks for you called a liar? Well, that's because you use ambassador or politician, you know. So we're at least honest about it. Sorry, another tangent.
Well, I mean, it's a justifiable one, especially with Jesus fucking Christ. Anyway, do you not have that kind of thing already? Do we not have that? Like, okay, well, do you? I know some squadrons, mine included to some extent, do pick people to go and sit in other squadrons' discords to be like the point of contact just in case any shit is going on. That genuinely does happen, mine included. Especially, like, I'm gonna put a caveat on all of this and say a lot of this is before colonization, because now everything is going on all of the time and it's all on fire and this is fine. But before colonization, there was an awful lot of person A would be sitting over here and interacting. I mean, even my little shitty... No, and we've got a lovely squadron, that's a lie. But even the section of my squadron, when we were active, we have a diplomacy channel and people will chat in that, or people will come and visit us and go and chat in that section to say, hey, we're doing this in a system that's close to you, or you're in the system... negotiating out again, more negotiating out of game. But that kind of thing does exist, and we do have people who do like ambassadory type things.
You know who the ambassador is for Lave Radio?
It better not be Ben. If it's Ben, I'm out.
For the Lave Radio, oh, don't worry about this. Like, you're not part of that squadron, so yeah, the ambassador. Yeah, we have Ben dealing with that.
I just want to apologise on behalf of Lave.
Well, no, you don't have to, because you don't know the people that we're having to deal with. They deserve Ben.
Can we send our ambassador to apologise?
Does it come up much?
Does what come up much?
The need for diplomacy for Lave.
Ironically, it was when we were taking over Lave Station.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Once Lave Station, and everybody thought, "Oh, we're not going to get Lave Station away from Lave Radio now." But it was been absolutely fine until colonization, because our squadron members, as you know, when you're a squadron member and you start off your own system, you bring your faction with you.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, Lave Radio is now spread all over the galaxy as our 30 or so members have started colonizing things. Not joined up in any way. It's just...
It's quite cool. I quite like that, you know.
I don't mind it either. I think Ben hates it, but I don't mind seeing...
Well, the people that got annoyed about it just kind of... They've given up being annoyed about it now.
I don't think there's so much bigger things to worry about. Like, even in game, there's much more important things to worry about. If you don't want, the great thing with colonization is it's not a case that any faction that goes into a colonized system is native. So if you wanted to, if you're pissed off with Lave being in a system, or in the system, or you don't want Lave to be in that system anymore, just work all of the other factions and get them out.
Trust me, Lave Radio won't fight you, because
exactly.
Lave Radio just wants to stay in Lave Station. That's the only thing we wanted, this Lave Station. You can have the rest of the bloody system, but no, we're having Lave Station. But
do we counter that with, if you want Lave Radio to be everywhere, then feel free to do missions for us and stuff.
Yeah.
I think Ben's had too easy a life being ambassador, so I think we're just going to generate him some work.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
drive him up the wall. What do you think about this idea about bigger wings being part of Vanguard? That's intrigued me, because I've been used to 4 players in a wing for ages.
It's difficult. I mean, they'll need to come up with more colours and icons.
It's got to be more polyhedral shapes.
Big ask.
Not even 5 or 6. Do you think that's too many?
I think you could take it to 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think you could probably do 8 relatively okay, and then that would make big instancing. That would make like big instancing, like let's fuck about with the system, big instancing stuff a little bit easier if you've got 2 anchors who are pulling into like 8.
I was thinking that. I was thinking like one of the main uses I know of for wings is pulling people into instances for big group events, and obviously you've only got 4. Plus, it'd be nice if they could. I think it's still an issue that if you leave a wing, it either like hangs indefinitely or takes ages to clear, and you can't immediately bring somebody else in. Somebody else has to do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah,
sometimes the visualization for leaving wings stays up as well.
Yeah. You don't know whether you've left or not, really.
Yeah.
Right, Claire, deep breath.
Right, okay, no, we're going to go through this. This is a really, this is a large, well thought about one from the Jinx Effect, but I thought we could talk about each one separately. But Jinx Effect said shared resources might be a good start. This includes things you might be expecting and things you might not. A guild bank style system for sharing and trading materials. I'm going to tentatively include the option to buy, sell items commanders have already engineered. I'm not sure how I feel about it personally, but open to persuasion either way.
Interesting.
Just want to talk about that for a moment as well, because I think that's an interesting point.
I'll come in here. I'd say, you know what, buying, selling, or trading materials, absolutely fine with. Buying and selling engineered options, not so sure. I feel like then what's the point of there is actually some good gameplay attached to those engineers, and cutting out, I know that it's not all good gameplay, but there is some good gameplay. I think if you start cutting that out, it's cutting off bits of gameplay that people just won't know anymore.
Yeah, I hear you. In the same way that people, rush to end game ships and miss out on a lot of good gameplay working your way up through ship progression. If you can basically skip engineering as well entirely, you you very quickly get to your sort of fully A-rated engineered Mandalay or whatever, and then go on the forums and go, this game's shit. I'm bored. There's nothing to do, and it's because you've skipped it all.
Yeah. Although you can skip Marcus Quint because I can't stand him.
I don't mind that. I don't mind this. I'm on the other side to the pair of you.
Interesting.
As much as I find unlocking all the engineers really annoying, it does get you to sample some of the other gameplay that you might not otherwise do, which in one way can be good, and one way can be absolutely shocking because you're like, I've got no interest in doing this bit. I'm just trying to unlock you so I can get to the person that's going to give me the super duper shields that I want, or whatever, whatever gizmo that I'm wanting to add to my ship.
Yeah.
So I can see either way, or maybe having a limit on how many items you can loan at one time would be the way around that. So it's not the case that you can deck out your entire ship in borrowed, loaned parts. It's like you can borrow a couple of modules or a couple of guns or a couple of, you've got like a little limit on what you can have as a loaner at a time. And that way you would have the ability to fast track for a certain element. Like you were saying earlier on, Alec, like we're going to go off and do a big expedition. Then you could borrow someone's really good SCO, super cruise and all that.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't be able to also borrow the super engineered power plant and guns.
I see.
Yeah, I think the key there is loan, because what the Jinx Effect is saying is buy, sell.
Sell.
I'd be actually okay with loaning, but I don't think I'd be okay with buying and selling.
I am. I know. It's very nice to have an entirely different opinion to all of you. The one thing I liked about EVE Online was the fact that I could go in and buy something that had been pre-built or that had been made, so I could have a bit of a leg up. The one thing of the whole of that game that I liked was like this central hub where you could go in and you could buy something, and that was really interesting and fascinating to me. And I thought I was like, I kept thinking about Katie, because as Katie said, she absolutely hates and detests the monotony of collecting materials. And you can say it's not a grind as much as you like. We all know it's not as much as a grind, but Kate feels that it's a grind, so she doesn't want, and it really stops her wanting to play Elite. Like those kind of things make her stop her wanting to play Elite. So with that in mind, I will quite happily sell her anything she fucking wants, as far as like getting her ship up to speed, if she wants to do that. If I've got engineering materials for days, so I would quite happily go and do it for. I would do it for anyone. If anybody wants an engineered item, I will go and do it, because I love collecting engineering materials. I find it so fun and so engaging.
Yeah. Can we bring in the little big in here?
So, yeah, I thought about that. I've got an even more mental idea. Let me sell entire ships with engineered things. There's a new gameplay loop. Be your own, like...
shipbuilder.
Yeah, shipbuilder. And, you know, that'd be cool. Like, if somebody wants... I could use my existing Viper Mark III that I made for going fast and exploding and looking good, and then sell versions of that to whoever wants one but can't be bothered to make it themselves. It'd be a fun like little gameplay loop, and it's kind of the same in other MMOs where you can sell, like high end like gear that may have certain powers on it, and you can sell it at a auction house or whatever. Do it. Why not? I mean, it'd be same for like suits as well, because God, suit engineering is the worst. So's gun engineering, to be honest. That's why I haven't done any. But You know, if I could contract someone and say, I want this suit.
I don't think Frontier will do it whole ships because it's all the nails in the coffin of pre-built ship kits. Who's going to pay ARCs when you can just pay one of us some?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that is the issue.
And there'd be better ships as well. What you'd get from a player would be way better than the pre-builts. You know, the pre-builts are very carefully hamstrung a little bit.
Yeah.
Interesting. Anyway, Jinx Effect moves on and says community hubs for your Vanguard, a home station to act as a central base of operations. I'm thinking this can influence what objectives the Vanguard can pursue, how they go about it. The home station will have contacts for Vanguard related activity, maybe even a clubhouse, outposts like stations, but resources will be more strained the further out you are from the home base and other facilities, e.g. fewer contact types. There will also be a risk of losing control of your outpost to a rival Vanguard. Not fleshed out how I think this should look, similar to BGS or powerplay or something new, and then Vanguard megaships, fleet carriers to assist with expansion. I love all of that.
What the home system? Yeah, I would love that sort of base of operations idea.
I wonder if there's a way that could go hand in hand with, like something like that could go hand in hand with colonization as well. Like the squadron picks the spot and they then build their base of the Vanguard picks the spot and they built their base of operations together, and then like starting from scratch, but with like using colonization as well, rather than you can't pick a pre-made. All of those are already in, but now Vanguard's in. You can now make your Vanguard base and then branch out from there. So in that way, it would start to work a little bit more like the way factions do in game.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Would Vanguard be the architect? So rather than an individual player being in the architect, the Vanguard. I hate the name Vanguard. I keep wanting to say Squadron. I don't like Vanguard as a group. It doesn't work. Anyway, but yeah, the Vanguard would be the architect of that, I guess, which is interesting. So that by voting or whatever, anyone in the group can decide what to build, and I quite like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it would need to be a system that hasn't been colonized yet, or would it just be that you would go to somewhere, so you get to build your station in a system that a Vanguard member already
I see. Interesting.
I guess, because otherwise you could have Vanguards claiming systems that people already have, or whatnot.
Or the alternative is like a new type of base, or a new type of property or station that is specifically Vanguard oriented, maybe a little smaller, something like that. I don't know.
It could be a way of developing as well, because then you start with like a small outpost type thing, which means that if you're sharing modules or ships or whatnot, you would only be able to share ones that were small or medium pad type things, and then you build up your base of operations as you do insert mission type thing here that allows you to then have enough credits.
Oh, imagine it being procedural,
or whatever, or whatever virtual points Vanguards might have that then let you add to your Vanguard station. You know, Alec,
can we start saying they're never going to do anything like this so that we're blown out of the water tomorrow, please? They're never going to do anything like this. They would never ever. I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, good shout.
We need to hammer that on. Finally, Jinx says objectives, high level objectives that the Vanguard is driving towards, such as colonizing a system, opening trade routes, expansion, influencing a market or BGS state, or something even more noble and altruistic, like eradicating mods by putting a mug in the hands of every individual in the galaxy. Missions or goals that the Vanguard shares to achieve those objectives. These could look like mini CGs or large wing missions. I think Elite Dangerous has embraced a new approach in allowing players to have more influence over the galaxy. Sorry, Ben. And I think whatever Vanguards brings, it will bring bring players more control and more influence. God, I hope so.
Yes. Yes to all of this, to be honest. This is the kind of thing that I would really like. I mean, and it's kind of like I'd really love it if you could sort of set up a Vanguard little mini campaign. So you design a little mini campaign for new players to follow. I think that'd be great. But yeah,
No, go ahead.
No, you first.
I was gonna say, is there anything that people like people haven't included in here that you'd like to see as part of squadrons? Fucking Vanguards.
A different name.
Yeah, a different name, yes, please. Just out of curiosity.
Vanguard decals.
Vanguard decals, yes, please. I'd like to possibly be able to join more than one Vanguard.
Oh yes, I meant to say that. Yeah, good shout.
Yeah. Well, I'd like it so that you can be you choose your main Vanguard, but you're a guest with other ones.
Yes, yeah. So I would love to be like I've got you cut me and orange and green pulls out when it comes to Elite Dangerous. But if I want to be like Soek, but I also want to chill out with the Lave crew. I also want to chill with the Buckyball racers and the Bury and Protectorate as well. You know, just say hi, say hey, and get in the in-game chat if there is that kind of thing. You know, it's I'd love to see that. That is something I am certain that isn't going to be an option.
I mean, if the Empire and the Federation can embrace you at the same time, I'm pretty sure that if we have a word with the Lavian ambassador and Katiana, then you'll be accepted in both.
I think Kremen might be our ambassador for a lot of stuff. It's either Kremen or Chrisobot 5 who are our ambassadors for a lot of bits. So
they'll say no. They'll say no. But I mean, Katiana might have said yes. But now I'm thinking, yeah, okay.
One thing I'd like to see is Vanguard-specific missions that can only be attempted as part of a Vanguard, and it'd be stuff like, oh no, there's a big pirate fleet coming in, go and biff it, you know, something like that. And it should be really difficult, and you have to do it as a group, and you get something out of it. I don't know what.
Yeah.
I mean, credits are pretty much worthless now. Whatever, I guess. And those can only be done as part of a Vanguard, because I think if Frontier are doing this, there should be some stuff that you can only do as a group.
Yeah,
because that's the point of it, and it's time to move on past everything has to be doable by a person on their own. So I would like to see basically raids, but in space.
Yeah. So you're right in that there definitely has to be a way. Like part of the question was, if you're a solo commander, what would encourage you to engage with Vanguards? And I feel for like those solo commanders who are stalwart solo commanders, only stuff that they could get as part of a Vanguard. I almost corrected myself off of Vanguard then. The only stuff that they could get if they were working as part of a Vanguard, that's the only way that some people are going to be incentivized to take part in this.
Like have things that they can't do any other way. Yeah.
Yeah, FOMO marketing. That's what you want.
Yeah, there are they squadron missions or are they? No, they're wing missions.
Wing missions, yeah, and you can do those solo if you're in a.
I was going to say
big enough ship.
They're just scaled up, aren't they? So if
Yeah.
you've got enough time and determination, you can still do them solo, can't you?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Like a Vanguard mission where everyone's got to contribute something in order for it to
work,
for it to complete, or something like that, where there's a multi-tiered element. No one has suggested anything on foot.
Well, that kind of listen, Chris. We want stuff on foot. Well, hang on. Fuck it. I want stuff on foot. I want them to use the sphere of combat that they've neglected.
Yeah, since the Thugload Towers.
Now, I'm saying that knowing I've got no idea how the on foot element could be tied in myself, but I was just sitting there thinking, yeah.
Maybe that's the one at the end of the year.
I was thinking of the classic Star Wars thing of, one team has to go down to a settlement on foot in order to turn the shields off so that the team up in space can do a thing.
We should call them Team Red Shirt for no reason.
That's it. The new Vanguards, the red shirts. See how long they last.
Hell yes, absolutely yes. That's much better.
Team nuked from orbit for the win. Yes.
But yeah, I like the idea that it's not just a scale, that there are multiple things that need doing, and it absolutely requires a Vanguard to do it. Somebody to cut the thing while someone else puts the thing in the thing to stop the thing happening.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
It's essential. Yes, absolutely. Well, thanks. But look at this. We've actually managed to do it. Yeah.
All right.
Well played.
I never doubted it for a second.
I always doubt it.
So that brings our discussion to an end. Thanks to everybody who's contributed to the question of the week. It was very insightful, and we'll find out more tomorrow. Fingers crossed.
This is when they fully 180 pivot and give us no information.
Oh, I know it'll be aimed. Look, have another flyby of the Panther Clipper. Okay, that's not what we wanted. Note to Arth next week.
We'll yell at Arth, and Arth's like, "I'm on gardening leave, mate. What can I do?"
Yeah, right. Has anybody got any other business?
Only that the Panther Clipper. The Panther Clipper sweepstake thing closing at 6 o'clock UK time tomorrow, which is about the time Frontier Unlocked starts.
Excellent.
Amazing. All I was going to throw in there, Colin, was just something suddenly occurred to me on like Community Corner and people contacting me. If people, I'm more than happy to have DMs on Discord or friend requests. If I've never heard of you, if we don't share any other Discord servers and I don't recognize your name and you don't send me any kind of introductory message, if you just send me a friend request and I've never heard of you, and yeah, I won't accept it. That's about the only place I draw the line. So yeah, if you are trying to reach out for me to give me community news for Lave Radio or anything, then do include a little message saying hello. I play Elite Dangerous. I listen to Lave Radio, and I'd like to tell you about something. If you just send me a friend request, I might not accept it.
Yeah, I must admit, I'm getting a couple of those, and I'm getting it from people I don't know.
Can I draw you some art for your stream? You seem like you might need some art for your stream. Can I draw you some?
Oh God, or art for your fan fiction? Yeah, that's a real good one that's happening at the moment. Nope.
Amazing.
They are getting quite clever because they normally put little links in and you take you to art pages. You think, oh, that's quite good, and you suddenly realise, hang on, yeah.
Hang on, I'm getting a hard sell right now. What's happening?
Yeah, falling for that once, never again. Right, let's do our shout-outs. Our sister station, Hot and Orbital Radio, it broadcasts on a Thursday from 8:30. You can tune in at twitch.tv/Hot and Orbital Truckers, or if you just want the audio, go to radio.forthemug.com. For the discerning commander who likes a bit of CQC action, check out the CQC Discord at discord.me/Elite Dangerous CQC. Ironically, I checked the squadron leaderboard for CQC. There's still people playing it. So it's still used by the squadrons. We'll also give shout outs to the other Elite Dangerous podcasts which have appeared over the last while. So we've got The Guard Frequency, who do other space games as well. And of course, the wonderful Loose Screws over there with their lovely accents. And if you speak French,
forget. I let the funky music do the talking.
There is also the Elite Dangerous podcast, who do wonderful missions as well. So following on this, we have the latest Galnet News Digest that's provided by Commander Witherspoon and Commander Beetlejude. And we'd like to thank all those who chipped in the Twitch chat and the in-game commanders that we have had this week. Chris R.
Hanging out with me in the bar, we have had Ulrich Octavius, Fox Hemlock, Real Merle, Tiberius Valerian, Rocky Star, and Siberius.
Excellent. So, special thanks goes to Commander Tokuso, JN Trax, and Alan Stroud, who all create music that we've used in this show. And that's it for this episode of Lave Radio. If you'd like to get in touch with the show, you can find us in the contact links at home/contact us menu of the laveradio.com website. Do let us know if you have any questions or if there's anything you'd like us to discuss in a future episode. Please drop us a line. Lave Radio is recorded live on a Tuesday evening at 8:30 and streamed out at laveradio.com/live. So, thanks to Claire.
Thanks. Cheers. Baguette.
Excellent. Thank you, Alec.
Au revoir.
Croissant.
That sounded Welsh.
I know.
Au revoir, boyo.
That's lovely.
Ba-da-da, yeah. We've got the Chris Mark 4.
Thanks, cheers, and fromage.
Is this insert random French word?
Mange two.
Oh, I can only... Good morning. Anyway, and of course, special thanks goes to today's tech specialist, the Chris Mark 5.
None of you are welcome.
Oh, we're doomed. Anyway, until next time, Commanders, fly safe. And if you can't do that, fly dangerous.
Is your life like this?
Sounds like someone having an origin certainty. Need a safe word.
Space can be lonely.
I'm going to see the galaxy.
Damn it. No worries, guys. Hold the fort for 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Galnet News Update, 27th of May, 3311. Councillor Nakato Kane has pledged that she will match Prime Minister Mahan's promise to hand out 2 sets of power distributors to everyone in the top 75% of contributors to the trade initiative, even if, as seems inevitable, the Prime Minister's initiative is more successful. This is to give commanders who are not pledged to either Kane or Mahan an opportunity to earn the pre-engineered power distributors for considerably less effort, and to encourage more support for the Kane cause. At the time of writing, participants in the Mahan CG need to have delivered nearly 1,500 tons of semiconductors, ceramic composites and synthetic fabric to qualify for both sets of modules, while you can qualify for the same modules after shifting just 800 tons for Kane. Mahan is still offering a slightly larger credit bonus at the end of the CGs, but other than that, the rewards for commanders pledged to neither Kane nor Mahan are now evenly balanced. In other news, the Pilots Federation, which is currently offering discounts on golden chrome paint jobs, plans to remove them from sale completely on Thursday the 29th of May. So, if you like that clean metallic look to your spacecraft, you'd better visit your local outfitting before then.